On this episode of Watch Stuff with Us, 25 things that 80s babies can do, but you can't do today. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Watch Stuff with Us. I'm JD.
I'm Katie.
And today we are going to watch a video and react to 25 things that 80s kids can do that you cannot do today. And I'm an 80s kid. I know she isn't. She's a
I'm
youngin'.
an 88.
She's a youngin'. I mean, that's 88 is a little later on. So, yeah.
That still counts.
But
I had 2 good years there.
I was going to say, you weren't doing much at 2. I'm an 81 kid. So
how do you know?
I had a lot of stuff that was going on back then. Like I'm more of an 80s baby than you. You can't deny that.
Man, I was busy. I took lots of naps, ate lots of baby food, went for lots of walks.
Before you go for a walk, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment below, and hit that notification bell so that you get notified each and every time we go live in 2025. So, let's get this video going. This guy.
See what he has to say.
Did you know there are many things 80s kids could do that today's kids can't? The world has changed a lot since three decades ago. Oh my God, the 80s were 3 decades ago. Technology and culture has radically altered the way we do things.
I like his white screen.
What once was normal is now either old-fashioned, taboo, outdated, or weird. From sugary cereals to access to computers, so many things were far and away different. For the 80s kids, it was a beautiful time. For kids today, it will probably look like a foreign universe. Get ready to travel back in time. Here are 25 things 80s kids could do that today's kids can't. "25. Ride in the very back of the vehicle." Let's just start off by saying that car safety standards were a little different in the 80s than today. This is back when station wagons were still a thing and car seats weren't mandatory.
Yep. Now, looking at that brings me back to the time when I was with my grandpa and me and a bunch of my cousins were going to the auto show in Chicago. Like, always a thing, like always been like super popular for kids and stuff to go to. I love going to it. But one year we went, and I vividly remember riding in the back of his station wagon. And of course, like we had no seat belts, no nothing. So like he would whip a corner and we were like flying all over the place. But like, yeah, we legit, like there were no seat belts, no nothing. And of course, like nobody thought anything of it, which is crazy. Because if we would have gotten to anything more than the way we were swinging around, like it would have been a wrap.
Yeah, I was in a car seat, so I was still safe.
They didn't even have car seats like when I was little.
Infant, yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like once you got like past the point where you were going goo goo gaga, they just threw you in a seat.
Literally, no seatbelt. Just
yeah,
throw you
like,
in.
hey, he's good. He's cool. What did they do before car seats?
Flintstone it.
Remember that it was a commercial where it was like a mom holding a child. And they were explaining how you aren't supposed to, like, you're supposed to wear your seatbelt. And, like, the mom held the child, but, like, said that, oh, we don't need a seatbelt. And, like, just clasped her hands like this. Like, oh, that's the seatbelt. And, like, yeah, they ended up getting in a car accident and, like, everybody got hurt. But.
Leave Brittany alone.
But, like, yeah, that was wild. That was wild. So, yeah, back of the vehicle. Definitely a thing. Definitely a thing. I'm not going to go through, like, all of his stuff.
4. Share a seat and a seatbelt in the car. Speaking of car safety standards, when adults found themselves in a situation where they wanted kids to use a seatbelt and there was only one spot, guess what? 2 or 3 kids in one spot with one seatbelt.
Because it was just a bench.
23.
Like, yeah, it was just like, it was literally just a bench in the back seat. Like, there was no like individual, like, here's a seat, here's a seat, here's a seat. It was like one just long bench with like separated by where the seat belts were at. And yeah, I do remember going in there and being like strapped in with 2 people at certain points in time. And like, I was still too small for them. So like I always kept moving the top part because like it would catch on me. And then for the longest, I remember the first car we had that had like the up top seatbelt part. For the longest, it's just a lap belt. Like, yeah, wow, old.
I remember the lap belt.
I'm old.
Get tangled up in the phone cord. I realize some of you might not even know what a phone cord is, but there was a time that not so long ago, phones were connected to a base by
I
a
used to
cord.
stand in the hallway upstairs at my old house, and my mom had one on the wall, and it had like the longest cord ever. And I'd just stand there on the phone, and I just twirl in circles and like wrap myself up in it, and then I just like untwirl myself and unwrap, and then I just like walk and see how far down the stairs I could get while still on the phone, and then see what rooms, how far in each room I could get while still on the phone.
Yeah, no, I remember those things too. I also remember the invention of the cordless phone and how mind blowing.
Oh my gosh, my mom like rushed out to get one.
Yep, and the giant antenna on it. And me and my sister used to like fight with it. It was a sword.
These cords were often stretchy, coiled, and really fun to wrap yourself up in while you're talking to a friend. 22. Eavesdrop on someone's phone call.
I did that to my mom all the time. She'd be on the phone with my grandma, and I just knew she was talking about me.
You had to like hold.
Yep, you hold
just
it
listen.
first, and then you take it off, but you gotta like hold the. You don't want it to make the click noise when you lift it
so you
up.
gotta ease off of it, and then just
Yep.
hold the bottom so they can't hear you
Yep.
breathing.
But every once in a while, my mom would be like, "Katie, get off the phone." I'm like, "How'd you know I was on the phone?" Like my little self.
I remember doing that too, but like I don't think that I ever heard anything I wasn't supposed to hear.
I
Like,
just
through
heard my
all the
mom
times when I
complaining
did
about
it.
something I did that was dumb as a kid. I
Yeah.
mean, it was often. So.
I did it multiple times, and I don't ever remember anything that was just like revelation. Like no, there was nothing. It was just, oh yeah, you're going to get grocers, or we're having this for dinner tonight, or Jeremy's annoying.
You see, you had it too.
Yep.
While phone cords were fun, what wasn't fun was someone listening in on your conversation. On the plus side, if you were sneaky enough, you could totally pick up another phone and listen in on your sister's conversation with her boyfriend. Welcome to a world before the internet, folks. 21. Play outside in the front yard without super strict adult supervision. Gone are the days when mom would let kids out to play in the front yard.
Now kids be gone in the days.
Right? Today are the days where your kids will be gone
Yep.
if you leave them out in the front yard. Yeah, like I always, like I refuse to do that. Even when I was younger, like legitimately, I would go outside maybe around like 9:30, 10 in the morning during the summer because it was warm enough then. It was like already in the 70s. So like I would have my breakfast, a bowl of cereal, and I would go out, and I would be out by myself with my friends until like maybe 11:30, 12, come back for lunch. Never had like a watch, but somehow we all knew that it was time to go back for lunch. Go back for lunch, have my bologna and cheese sandwich and some Kool-Aid, and then go back out again until about like 4 o'clock. I always knew that I had to be home before my dad got home. My dad got home right around like 4:35, somewhere in there. So I just knew I had to be home before then. And like literally we would, like, you wouldn't see us.
Yeah.
And we all just be out there playing, and nobody bothered us. We got into all sorts of stuff. We explored places we probably shouldn't have explored. There was an abandoned mall by my house, and we might have went in that mall and saw some things that we should not have seen. But we did it, and nobody got abducted or anything like that. I would never let my daughters go outside and play now.
No, I was
without
always
me
out.
being right there.
I didn't always play with the neighbor kids because they were boys and I was a girl, so they didn't want to play with me. But no, I'd always be like out on the driveway. I'd do like chalk art all over the driveway and the sidewalk. I'd be in the backyard all the time, swinging. We didn't have a fence. Like,
Yeah. We would go play football, like basketball.
I'd ride my bike all the way around the block, like
Mhm.
unsupervised, just around the block.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't let my kids go 2 houses down now without
Never,
me.
Never.
Okay. It was gasoline. 20.
What I miss?
I don't know. I'm not going back.
Okay, it's
though.
gasoline.
I'm not going back.
Eat candy cigarettes.
Ah,
Even with the
I have a
Yes.
picture. I have a picture of me on a bus trip with one in my mouth, and I thought I was cool.
It was still fun to
Yes.
grown up and smoke
and the candy was so
cigarettes.
gross though.
They had a very distinct
The gum
flavor
was
that you
gross.
don't find in any candy today.
Mm-mm.
Sure, you could.
It was
They were
like chalky.
Yes, they were ultra dry. I was gonna say it was the driest gum.
Yeah.
And then like you could like blow, and like the powdered like sugar would come out and it looked like smoke. Like, dude, that was grooming. That's really bad.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
Find them at novelty
Definitely had one of
stores
those Roundup
sometimes,
packs.
but you won't
I never had
find
a
them
pack.
locally
I just had some
on
Lucy's.
occasion.
I don't know how I got them, but
I was on a grandkid bus trip. Somebody passed around a pack, and so all of us kids were just like had one of these in our mouth. There's like 20 of us kids from like kindergarten through high school with one of these in our mouth, and our grandparents didn't even care.
Yep. Nope. It's just what you did. It was all right.
Yep.
19. Play on risky playground equipment. What's a broken arm or leg here and there?
Man, every year somebody busted themselves.
It was designed for hanging upside down.
I was gonna say, you hung upside down on them. Everybody did that.
I didn't.
Oh, you would just wrap your legs.
I know how to. I just didn't.
Down. I did it all the time.
I was actually nervous to go to the top because I always thought I was going to fall through. I was probably the only kid that didn't break a bone.
Speaking of
knock
risky,
on wood, still have
speaking
knots.
of risky stuff, like at a park. First off, our park had it was like a block. It was exactly a block away from my house, and we had this slide that was, it was stainless steel. But
they get so hot.
Yes, and then it had like creases in it.
Yep.
So like eventually it would get old and the creases would come up and somebody would go sliding down that thing and either burn themselves or like cut an artery in their thigh because they slid and there was like a piece of exposed metal. Like, why was that okay? Why was that a thing? Why wasn't it just plastic? And the thing was always like stainless steel, like not painted, nothing. It was just like you would be
shiny.
On fire.
It's like a mirror you're going down.
And then we had another thing in the middle of the slide, like section. There was like this ladder. And it was like enclosed and you could climb up to get to where you needed to go to. But like they had steps on the side in different areas that you could go, or you could climb up the slide. But in the middle, there was like a ladder and it was like enclosed except for like a little hole that where you could go in and then you can come out the top through the other side of the hole. But people would always pee in it. So like it smelled like straight pee all the time.
That happened to our school playground. We had this little boat. We had just had like the playground redone. I think I was probably in 3rd or 4th grade. They just remodeled the entire playground. Like it was all new stuff. It was amazing. And like that summer, I don't know how many kids had gone there because by fall when we started back at school, that whole boat smelled like pee. Like you could go inside, like there's a downstairs to the boat, or you could be up top on the boat. That whole thing, it had been like graffitied all over, and it smells straight ammonia. It was so bad. It was so bad. I was so sad. I was like, that boat's new. Like my little pure self is like, you guys ruined a nice thing.
No, don't be in the boat. You guys peed all over it.
Now nobody can play in this. I was like 60-year-old lady at like 10. No, thank you.
Oh, man.
Concrete also wasn't a big deal for flooring. Remember I told you about my broken arm? Yes. Came from playing on the playground. 18. Use their brains to find a book at the
I loved those. Card catalogs is where it's at.
No, I didn't care about it.
Oh, we used to do competitions in the library class. Try to see like who could find something the fastest. I'd be like,
library class. They did not have library classes in the hood. We were lucky to have a library.
We had them.
Our library consisted of like one card catalog index.
Oh.
And it was A to Z in one of those little pull-out things. That was it. We probably had like 18 books. I'd only said 18 because that's the number on the screen. But no, we had more than that. But it was not like we didn't have.
I love library day, and then I go to the public library all the time, so I'd always like search for things.
Oh, I did too. I would always get the Reading Rainbow books from the city public library, not our school's library. The ones that they would talk about on Reading Rainbow. Yeah. My mom would take me to go get those all the time.
Look at you!
Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Oh, that's so cute.
And since we're talking about books, the book fair was always like the best, greatest thing ever.
The best. Now at our kids' school, it's like lame. You can only come at certain hours, and then you have to go like in the evening, and then like you can't. The book fair was like the
highlight of like
oh my God, I loved it.
That week that it was there. So you got the little paper, the little paper magazine thing that had like the books that were in. It
had like the feel of it and the smell of it. I don't know, it's just paper, but it was unique.
It did. It did. It had a smell and everything.
Today we've got computers to look. Find the book you wanted using the Dewey Decimal System. Haha! It was a bit more complicated.
We also had phone book races too. They'd be like, okay, where can you find this? Or they'd ask us a name or a business or something, and I was like, man, I won those things too. Oh man, I was driven.
Cool. We didn't have anything like that, but yeah, that's cool. I would want to do it. That was cool.
We should get some phone books and have a girls race sometime.
Phone book? What's a phone book?
I know.
Why do we need a phone book?
They don't leave them on our steps anymore.
Just look at your contacts. Ask Google.
Whitepages.com.
Right.
Discover computers slowly. In the 80s, most kids were lucky if they had a computer in the house. Even if they had one, many had little idea how to use the DOS-based operating system.
Mid
The
90s for me.
computer was like an odd alien object.
I remember those with the
mysterious
floppy
and
disks.
wonderful.
Yep.
Gradually over time, you could discover the different aspects of the computer because they were so new and fresh. It was exciting.
New and fresh.
Today, of course, computers are everywhere. The wonder and awe is kind of gone. A computer! 16. Pull the ends off dot matrix paper.
Oh, I love that.
Before inkjet
That was
printers,
annoying.
There was an ungodly noise machine known as the dot
Yeah.
matrix printer. To spin the paper through, all dot matrix paper had holes punched in on the ends that would interlock inside the printer and guide
Remember
it
that.
through.
Yep.
Once you experience the days of chalk. Sure. some
Chalk's
kids
the
still use
best.
chalk today.
Like I said, I'd be out there
That's right.
forever playing with chalk.
In the 80s,
No.
chalkboards and chalk
Did you not
abounded.
have chalk?
Kids were using it on the playground,
didn't have chalk?
driveways, and every.
You didn't have chalk?
We had chalk. Chalk was awesome.
Why are you sad?
Because I also ate some of it. You never tasted chalk?
Nope. I tasted Tums, which are the same thing.
No, if you tasted chalk, let me know in the comments, please. I know somebody else had to taste the chalk. And it was chalky. It was chalky.
I
It was
did
a
like
texture
the,
thing.
I did like the white sticks that they had in school. I like to just like slide my finger along it because it was so smooth.
Mhm.
But no, I did not lick chalk.
I didn't lick it. I was just crunching on it. It was like a texture thing.
How
And
many
I'm-
sticks of chalk did you eat?
Maybe like a few. It's all right. Judge me. That's fine. I know some people out there in the comments have ate some chalk before too.
Okay,
so
now you're gonna be on an episode of My Strange Addiction. Way to go, man!
that's not my strange addiction. My strange addiction is
Beware. Chalk is making a bit of a comeback
say
amongst
underwear?
young hipsters today. Likely because they remember the days of yore when chalk.
Oh my
really
gosh!
didn't
Don't say the
hardly
days of
cool.
yore.
Except the smelly markers, those were amazing.
That's a phrase I haven't heard in a long time.
14. Make their parents or grandparents.
Nope, we
ashtrays
didn't
in
have
our
those.
classes.
nope. We didn't either. Nobody in our
Not only have a lot
house
of our
smoked.
classes
Same.
disappeared,
yep.
but the
So
projects
skipping
for
that one.
elder smoking addiction. 13. Sip their parents' alcohol like it was no
Nope.
big deal.
Didn't do that
We
either.
didn't even have alcohol in our house.
No
Neither
problem
did we.
for 80s kids.
I didn't discover alcohol until I got to college. Like, I literally remember the first time I tried it and the magical experience that it was. But my parents did not drink at all.
My mom brought home beer one time that I can remember, and I thought it was like a weird pop in the fridge, and she had already left it open. So
A
I think I
weird
was
pop.
9, and I had a little sip, and I spit it in the sink, and I was thinking
Like,
it was
what is this pop?
Yep, I thought it was the nastiest thing I've ever tasted, but I didn't tell her I had a sip because it wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
It wasn't mine.
Yeah, no.
It was gross.
Nope.
Still don't like beer.
Nope, me neither.
Collect garbage pail kids.
Yes.
Garbage pail kids were pretty much the weirdest collector's toy in the 80s.
Yes.
What is
Guess
that
what?
bottom left one?
Oh, they're all, like, you've never seen them before? They're all, like, weird
Does she have, like, a
cars-
big old, like-
cards. Yes, and then you'd have
She
one
okay?
that was, like, Pukey Pete, and it was just, like, a picture of him throwing up.
Why is
And,
this
like,
cool?
Because it was gross, and it was awesome. And to be a kid and have gross and awesome things is awesome and slightly gross.
No, let's skip this one. Not interested.
Not skipping because it was awesome. Did you have Garbage Pail Kids? Answer in the comments below.
Or if you ate
This is
chalk
so
like
awesome.
Jeremy.
And kids today have no idea what they missed out on. 11.
How much?
Play dodgeball at school.
I hated dodgeball. I always hid behind other
I
kids.
love dodgeball. That was like,
Ugh.
not to be overly like sexist or stereotypical, like that was a boy thing. Like dodgeball was the
And
stuff.
then, yeah, we'd always do it in gym, and the guys threw so hard, and I was
Yes.
like this big,
because we
and
were trying to take
I
your
had
head
welts. I hated it.
off. Yep, there was no mercy. There was no mercy.
I
in
just
dodgeball.
stand there if I got a ball and start like picking the foam off of it.
Yeah, like okay, that was the nice dodgeball when you had like the foam ball,
Yeah.
but
Or the you're thinking of the school like kickballs, the ones that had the rubber
Yes,
that would like
rubber
doing.
one,
They
yes,
would
those were
doing.
no joke.
Ugh.
Then also we had like these old like foam soccer balls that were like really hard, and somebody would always like take a
The
bite
yellow
out of
ones?
it. Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody take a bite out
There
of
was
it.
always a chunk.
A tooth mark. In
Yep.
it.
Yep. I will
Somebody had
say
to bite
though,
it.
when being an adult, working in education, getting to play dodgeball with kids again
Yes,
is
it
amazing.
is,
It's
it
a good
is.
stress reliever.
It is. And you can hit the one kid that you don't really like and just blame it on the game.
Exactly.
Oops, I just gave you a black eye. Sorry, Petey.
Dodgeball isn't
Petey.
just a gang of 10. Wear slap bracelets as a fashionable accessory.
I never thought they were that cool.
Slap
Our kids
I-
are obsessed. I just never
Yeah.
thought they were that cool.
I did. I thought they were cool. I never wore one, but like I thought they were cool.
Wrap around your wrist when you
It's just a tape measure.
eat sugary cereals. The 80s
Still
were,
got sugary
in many
cereals.
ways, the golden age of cereals. So many
But the cereal did taste better
came
then.
out in the 80s.
All I got was
I'm here
Raisin
to
Bran
tell
and
you
Bran
they were
Flakes.
packed with sugar. So
Apparently,
No.
my mom just wanted me a poop.
No, my parents hooked me up. I always got good cereal. Like that was one thing. I always got good cereal. And for whatever reason, like now I could sit and I feel like I could eat an entire box in like one sitting.
Yeah.
Somehow that box would last a long time and I'd have like 2 bowls and then we still have like a ton left.
Yeah.
But like now, if I went to go have some cereal,
That's because the bag
it's
inside the
gone.
box is half full.
yeah, like that was
Plus, we
whack.
eat more now.
Yeah, true. I didn't get to be this weight by just eating one bowl of cereal.
Same.
trying to be quiet. Today, of course, cereals
Ah,
more
be
focused
quiet.
on fiber and vitamins. 8. Wear neon colors in public without judgment.
No,
There's neon,
Missed that.
and then there's 80s levels of neon.
we didn't have
Many
that.
of us
Like
80s kids wore
I don't know
enough
if that
neon
was
to
just
make
like a
birthday
hood thing, but
labels
it wasn't a whole lot of
jealous.
neon going
Today,
around
if
in my
you're a kid
neighborhood.
wearing
I mean,
neon,
Claire's. I'm sure that
yeah.
it was bussin',
7.
but I didn't have anything.
Watch Saturday morning cartoons.
Yes.
We still look them up on YouTube.
I know we will go and watch like Saturday morning cartoons. They have like full like 4 to 5 hours of Saturday morning cartoons that you can go look up on YouTube. Like I suggest anybody who's a kid and enjoyed those times go do that. Because it's
Disney's
awesome.
One Saturday Morning, though, is the best.
Yeah, I know. I hear the song and I get like
One
choked
Saturday
up.
morning.
Yes. It was awesome. It was awesome. And there's nothing like that anymore. Our kids even love watching the commercials. Like I forgot how much the commercials
They're
were
like,
good.
what are commercials? We had to
Yeah.
teach them commercials.
Like why is the show not back on? Because you gotta wait for the commercials to be over.
Yep.
What's a commercial?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Best cartoons ever. 90s had
Oh, one more thing about the commercials and the shows. Oddly inappropriate now. Like
Sure.
you see certain things, you're like, why is Sonic telling somebody to shut up? Like,
Mhm.
or
But back
using
then,
the
you didn't
R
even think
word.
about it.
Like I heard it was an episode of Sonic.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like, he used the R word. I was like, what?
Yep.
Like no, that is not okay.
Nope.
Like I do not want our kids thinking that that's all right.
Nope.
one Saturday morning now. 6. Sleep on a waterbed.
Nope.
At what
My uncle, not my uncle, it was like an older cousin, and I would go over my younger cousin's house, and they had a waterbed, and we would always play in the waterbed. Like
I sat on one once. I don't remember where I was, but I just remember.
yep, and we always thought that it was the coolest thing, but like now thinking about it, that like my older like adult cousin was using that waterbed, it was probably gross for us to be playing on that bed. That was probably not okay.
5. Pack peanut butter in their lunchbox.
I'm allergic, so never did.
Yep, peanut butter is my favorite, and I gave it up for this woman.
Oh, isn't he sweet?
I am.
It's okay.
You
There's
know it's-
sun butter.
You know it's sweeter than me though.
Wouldn't know.
In some school, 4. Bike anywhere.
I
When
already
you
talked
first
about
bike
that. We
down-
just
we
ride
broke that
around.
down. You could ride anywhere.
Yep.
We went. Oh my god.
I go like all the way down I go
Yeah.
to other schools and find tennis courts
Yep.
and play.
Yep. We went to different cities. Like we would literally go to another city. Like it'd be like a solid 15-20 minute bike ride away. So we were probably like 10 miles away.
Mm.
Yep. But it was okay.
As a kid in the
And we made
80s,
it. We made it back
parents
safe. Would
spent
never do it
the day
today
at
though.
the library.
I did wear helmets.
Parents aren't so
No,
weird
we
when
never
kids
had a
wander off
helmet.
too far from home.
Yikes.
3. Use a payphone. You couldn't carry
I
one
used
everywhere.
one at school once. In junior high, they had one on the wall, and I had just gotten dumped by my boyfriend, so I used my money to call my mom to tell her I was having a hard time.
Oh man. That's a sad story. That's a sad story. I use a payphone. Like I had to call collect a few times to like ask for a ride from somewhere, or like if my practice ended at a different time than it was supposed to, I would use a payphone to call like my mom or something like that. But no, definitely didn't have anything that was depressing or sad like that story.
I'd never used a payphone before. I was just lucky to have some quarters on me at the time.
2. Find Carmen Sandiego.
Oh, the best.
I like the
I would
show. I
give
never played the
anything-
game, but
I
the
would
show
give
is awesome.
Anything to have that game back. We used to have it in our library in middle school.
I'm sure you can find it online.
Yep, I'm gonna find it. They
Let's
had
do
to have
it.
somewhere where you can just play it without downloading. all that stuff.
Likely.
Yeah, our kids need to do that too. That's
We'll check.
awesome. It should come back.
As a tricky way to teach is Carmen Sandiego.
I
1.
love that song.
Select their own Valentine. Kids in school.
They do that
these
now,
days
too.
They
either
still get
send out-
Valentine's. Yeah, I just bought 3 boxes the other day for them.
I was gonna say our kids do that.
Yep, and make the Valentine's boxes and all the things.
Yeah, and Valentines are pretty awesome. I do remember some where you would like have to guess who was like giving you the Valentine, and it didn't have like their name on it, so you'd be like, "Oh, who gave me this one?" And
Oh, I
it was
definitely
always a
did
thing.
like Your Secret Admirer at least once in elementary school on
it was
one.
definitely a thing.
It wasn't well received.
So there you have it. more depressing stuff from when Katie was a child. But
Elementary school was not great.
yeah, it wasn't a jam for you.
No.
But my experience wasn't too bad. How was your experience when you were an 80's child? Or if you weren't an 80's child, how was your elementary school experience? Mine was pretty decent. It was decent. Katie's not so much, it seems.
Did my best.
But you know what is the best? This channel and you hitting that like button and the subscribe button. And that notification bell so that you be notified each and every time we go live, because we go live all the time in 2025. We got so much stuff coming up. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment below, all that good stuff. Let us know what you thought about this video. And if you do like it, we will keep doing these types of videos because I like doing the nostalgia stuff.
Me too.
We love you and we appreciate you. Peace. And my finger is kind of crooked. Yes, I know. Don't say anything.